Round 4, I have 1.5 point out of 3. This tournament is not going really well. I have a 1, a loss, and a draw. And if I want at least to have a decent tournament, I have to win the next 2 games. So this time I'm playing as white. My opponent is lower rated than me, so let's see what happened. And talking about things I have to do, I unfortunately have to destroy French. Yeah, this is sad, guys. As a French player, I have to say, I enjoy seeing the French being played against me. This kinda hard to say, like I'm happy if I see this, but if you think about it, I played thousands of times the French, so I have to know how to punish it. Otherwise, I mean, that wouldn't make any sense. So, e46, what can I do now? I played e4, d5, and now I decided to play the tie rush. Now, to be honest, there are stronger lines. I mean, if your opponent plays knight on f6, okay, perfect, but he doesn't have to. I think there are better lines. So maybe in the next tournament I'm going to prepare for them, although the Tadashi is completely fine. I mean, he's a really good answer against the French, but probably there are better lines, I would say. So, the fact is that he can take. Taking is, in my opinion, the best move that black will play, because after you take, you're going to play knight on b8 to d7. Let's say I play knight on f3, and your point is that you want to play this knight. So let's say knight take, you are going to take back with the knight, you don't want to take with the queen. Let's say this point that is bishop d3, take, the knight jumps on the f6 square, the bishop has to go back and now there is c5. Black is perfectly fine. Although going back, if black doesn't know theory or plays dumb stuff, which is what my opponent played, knight on f6 is going to get destroyed. So knight on f6 is bad because after you take, you have to take with the queen. You don't want the queen out early, for the simple fact that the queen is a target now, and I can use this as my advantage, obviously. Right now, I can just play knight on f3, rather than to play bishop on g5. Let's say you, I don't know, develop the bishop, let's say bishop on e7, something like that, that is bishop g5, good luck. Now bishop d3 comes, I develop 300 pieces. You don't lose the queen, but I just develop everything, and I mean, this is horrible. You lose the right to castle in this case. Let's say you played something else, I mean, it's still horrible. So going back, you don't want to do this, and at this point the move is h6, just preventing this. I don't know if this was theory, but my opponent played queen d8. And I'll tell you something, this position is already close to impossible to play, like it's crazy hard to play. The bishop, I don't know, could play something like bishop b2, the bishop comes, the knight has this great square and everything. It's really hard to play a position like this, but man, if you play queen d8, it's the same position basically, but you're just down a time now. You want to get destroyed. Like, I don't know if this was theory once again, but this is just terrible. Now, the best move is not even bishop d3. The best move will be to play bishop on e3 for whatever reason. I don't get it. Maybe it's because you want to castle long. Although bishop on e3 is perfectly fine. Now bishop on e7, which is inaccurate. And the punish is apparently queen on e2 or castling. I decided to castle, obviously it makes sense. And now my opponent castled. So why am I saying this is much better for white? There are 95 ideas, queen e2 ideas, followed by queen on e4, better in checkmate, h4, h5. This is a really good attacking position for white. Black has nothing. The only thing black has is, I mean, is the lack of space. That's what black has. It's hard to develop pieces. You would like to play these. You would like to develop this bishop on a decent square. It's not that simple. So what can you do now? At this point I played queen on e2. Once again, going for this checkmate ideas. And now h6. Obviously, if I play queen on e4 now, you could just play f5, I guess. So it's not necessary. I'll tell you something about h6. Doesn't make any sense. You just give me another target. In a position that was already difficult to play, you give me h6. I don't get why. So what you should do instead of h6 is developing pieces. You have to develop pieces. 97, knight on f6. So he played h6. I would like to play knight on e5, so I just played c3. At least the pawn is not hanging. It's simple as that. It's not a crazy move, just makes sense, and it is a good one. Knight on d7, developing pieces. Now I could play bishop on c2, and I think queen on d3. I don't really understand the difference. Why can't I play queen on e4 now? Well, there is this, now that I think about it, but even in this case, I don't know, you could still defend. I don't think it's necessary to go for this plan now. I want to develop pieces probably. Even rook d1 is good. I played bishop on f4, just developing is perfectly fine. I just develop pieces. So, he replied with knight on f6, and now I can jump in with the knight, and as you can see, this bishop is really hard to develop. Let's say you play this, I might even take it, probably not because it's bad. It is a really bad bishop, but I don't know. I have queen on f3 ideas, and after queen on f3 I might go on g3. I might have g4 ideas. This is a really good position. So he replied with queen on d5. Queen on d5 is imprecise because not only does it make any sense, it just gave me a target. Now at this point you should develop the bishop 100%. This is a huge problem in the French. You should try to develop this bishop as soon as possible. Queen on d5 just waste time, and also just allow me to take more space, because in this position I played the rook on d1 and I'm threatening to play c4. As simple as that. Apparently I had the queen on e3. Queen on e3 threatening to sacrifice, and it's really hard to answer to this. But the rook on d1 still makes sense. Now the bishop goes on d6. That I need to take the knight, maybe, even though it's not a good thing, because I'm going to take with the bishop and that I need to take the knight and then mate you. So it's not that simple once again. Now obviously I decided to play c4. c4 attacks the queen. The pawn is tactically defended if you take, sacrifice the bishop and I win the queen. So you need to move the queen. What can I do now? Now I was thinking about something like c5, but I thought it didn't make any sense. I mean, you play this because you want to give me the bishop. So by playing this, you just follow your plan and basically wasted the move. And I mean, I want to attack on the king side. I don't really care about this. I could play a3. a3 because I just threaten, I mean, maybe not tap the queen, but to take a ton of space. In this position, I played queen on f3. Now listen, queen on f3 might not be the best move, but you're not going to play this. You're not going to play this too. Queen on f3 just doesn't allow you to play. As simple as that. So queen on f3 does make a ton of sense. He replied with queen on b4. What can I do now? I could play a3. I thought about a3 for a while, and I didn't play it because after a3, let's say queen take, I would love to play something like this, or maybe rook on d1 to b1, but you can just take the pawn. As simple as that. Okay, rook a to b1, but I lose this. Bishop take on h6, okay, but why can't I play bishop take on h6 anyway? Why shall I lose 2 pawns? So in this position, in fact, I could play bishop take on h6. I don't remember if I missed it, because I didn't play this. I don't remember if I missed this, or if I saw something in this position. But I don't remember what. Maybe I didn't want to, let's say, allow this, or let's say I take, something like that. I don't know, but yeah, bishop take on h6 looks really strong. I don't know, I probably missed it, to be honest. Don't understand why. I just thought about sacrificing my pieces like in every single possible move. So, okay, rook on b1, what is the point? Now I'm just threatening a3, and threatening to take a ton of space. He replied with knight on e8, which is horrible. Like, while I was playing this game, I was like, if I lose against this dude, like, I'm going to leave chess. Because, come on, you can't play this move in classical and not get punished. There is no way. I'm not saying the dude is bad. I'm just saying you can't play this and pretend to survive in classical. There is no way. This move is terrible. Instead of playing this, I don't know. I mean, apparently it is playable, but just knight on h7, if you really want to move it, just makes more sense in my opinion. But yeah, knight on e8, just blocking your own pieces. You're not going to play these. Rooks are not connected and everything. a3. Now, if you play queen on b3, it's actually funny, you lose the game. But yeah, my opponent didn't play these. he played queen on a4, and now I replied with rook on e1. Now rook on e1 looks stupid, although I had the point. At this point, I would love to sacrifice. The fact is that after I sacrifice, let's say I play this, like, you're not going to lose the game. Just play this, you move and everything. So my idea was, and also wanted to play something like queen on g3, but you could move once again and everything, or queen on g4. My idea was, I'm going to play rook on e1, so let's say I do this, I always have the opportunity to play rook on e3, and bring the rook on probably g3, or h3 and destroy you, so it is a attacking move, pretty much. Now he played c5, c5 looks scary, looks like you're damaging my scatter. c5 is bad, c5 is bad for the simple fact that after I take, and I have to take, the bishop takes, and I tell you something, you removed a defender, the bishop was defending. The bishop was defending because you always had the chance to remove an attacker, which I mean, it is basically defending. Now you can't. And now I have all the pieces pointing towards the king side, so this cannot be good. At this point I was like, there has to be a way to win, I have to be aggressive at this point, I have to die something. So I played the move. Queen on h5, which is apparently inaccurate because there is f5. I thought about f5 and I was like, dude, ain't no way you can survive this. And it is crazy scary to play a move like this. I mean, I'm getting in with all the pieces, and they're still much better, obviously. So what this move does is, let's say your opponent doesn't play this, and he plays a more human move. He plays knight on f6. So what this move does is basically winning. Because after you play knight on f6, you don't have the chance to play this, you don't have the chance to move this pawn, which is the more important thing, because now your king can't run away. So I can just play queen on h4, and not only that, now you also have a huge target, which is the knight. Queen on h4, and now the position is completely lost. Now I can sacrifice and do whatever I want, and threatening to take, and then the queen take. So right now I'm seeing the static that I missed a few moves ago. I don't know how, once again. If you play this, I can just take and win the knight. So I'm not blundering a piece. You played the rook on d8, and now, I mean, now it's time. I don't care. I didn't even think in this position. I just threw the bishop at that pawn. I just don't care. You can have it. This has to be winning. It is winning, obviously, 100%, especially if you take. Now, you shouldn't take. You should play defensive move. For example, rook d4. Rook d4, I don't know. I guess I defend with the bishop. You play this, I take with check, so you can't. If you take, it's over. If you take queen take on f6, I'm attacking the rook, threatening to take. You have only one defensive move, which is rook queen e8. Queen e8 defends the pawn, defends the rook. But after this is pretty much over. I can bring more attackers to the game. This move, as you see, start making sense. So rook on e4. I missed rook on d4. A defensive move, and by the way, rook on e4 is the best move anyway. The fact is that now I don't have this idea because you can take with the rook, and apparently what I have to do now is play rook e3. Just saying, I'm going to play this anyway now that you block the bishop. But yeah, instead of playing this, I played a move that obviously was winning. I just didn't think about this, but this is still really simple to win. Rook take, bishop take, and threatening this. Threatening pretty much everything. My opponent replied with bishop on d4, and now I played the winning move, bishop on h7. Is mate in 6. I didn't see it. I didn't see the mate in 6, but to be honest, I didn't calculate the mate in 6 because I saw the way to win. And I'll tell you something. This is a serious game. This is a tournament game. And you have to win. I mean, the only important thing is winning. If it was a random game, you want to train and you want to play all the best moves, just go for it. But if you have to win a game and you see the win, it's kind of pointless to play the best move if you can win anyway. Just play the simpler move and you're going to win. So instead of trying to find a checkmate with the rook d1, which is not that simple to see if this is going to be checkmate in 6 or not, you have to calculate a lot of stuff. I just decided to play the simple bishop on g6, king move, and bishop take on f7, which is a blunder. I just winning the queen, by the way. A blunder. you have to give me the queen, knight take, let's say king take, pressure on the bishop. You could defend, but I mean, I am going to win it somehow. Let's say you play this, take, king take, what can I play? Queen on h7. I guess in a class, I mean, this was a classical game. I guess I would have seen a decent continuation at this point. King e8, rook d1, and I'm threatening checkmate and everything. So, yeah. This was the game. This poor guy got destroyed because he played a bad line against a French player, bad French line against a French player, a bad French player. So, obviously, this is the result. Unfortunately, I had to beat the French. But yeah, I won the game. But I'm still not happy because I also have to win the next one and I'm going to play as black. So that's it for today, guys, and stay tuned because tomorrow I'm going to post the 5th and last round. See you soon.